I'll teach you how to start an email newsletter as a beginner, and it's totally free. Many people think email marketing is hard, but to me the hardest step is to just get started. So I'll walk you through the setup step by step so you don't feel overwhelmed. I've divided this tutorial into 3 sections. In the first section, I'll show you how to create a landing page to capture emails, and you don't even need to have your own website for this. But if you already have a website, I'll explain how to embed a form on it. In the second section, I will cover how to create and send your first email to your subscribers. The tool we will use has a very intuitive email builder and many pre-built email templates. And then in the third section, I'll show you how to automate emails and tag your subscribers so that you can personalize your sales offers based on their interests. This is the most powerful feature of any email marketing tool because it allows you to automate many tasks instead of manually sending emails to each of the subscribers. Hello internet people, my name is Robert and I help creators with the tech side of their business. To get started, just head to the description of this video and click on the first link and you will land on Convertkit's website, which is also the sponsor of this video. So why I like Convertkit, it just has all the features you need, especially when it comes to automation and tagging. I use it for my own newsletter, and also they've updated their free plan, which is one of the most generous free plans that you can find on the market right now, because when you look at this, you see that you get up to 10,000 subscribers in the free plan. This is really above than pretty much any other tool right now provides. Then you have one basic visual automation and email sequence. And these are super useful to just get started with email newsletter. And then you have also the free recommendations, where it just means that you're able to recommend other people when somebody signs up to your newsletter, and the vice versa. So when somebody signs up to another newsletter, they can recommend you. So if you have already a network of other people doing this could be really beneficial to you. So if we scroll up, you just need to come to this pricing page. If you're on the home page, just click here in the menu pricing and then scroll down and use this button, sign up for free. Make sure you use this button to sign up because this is what enables you to get all of this for free. If you go through this, the free trial starts, and it's just easier to start with the free plan here. So click on sign up free. And here we need to give a name and an email address. Just keep in mind that to send out emails, you need to have a custom domain name, so your own domain name. You cannot send out emails from free providers like Gmail or Yahoo. You can sign up with that, but you will need to add later an email with custom domain. And I'll add my password and click on get started. And next it will ask you a few questions. Just fill in them because this also fills in your profile. And I'm just gonna skip this because it changes time to time. Okay, once you're done answering all the questions, you land on Convertkit's dashboard. You'll notice that here at the top we have this banner that some of the features are disabled, but this is okay. We're gonna cover this a bit later in this video when we go into the settings. You just need to get approved by the Convertkit team, and this is a good thing. I'll tell you more about it later. And one thing I want to mention is that Convertkit will rebrand to Kit. That means they're going to change their brand colors, logos, and fonts and stuff like that. But it should not change how the platform works. So all the functionalities stay the same. So I'll show you first how to create a landing page, which is basically a web page that you can then share anywhere online. This is where people can subscribe to your newsletter, and this way you don't need a website as well. In addition, Convertkit makes it super easy to send lead magnets to subscribers in exchange for their email. This is optional, but it's a great way to increase your subscription rate. After that, if you already have a website, I'll show you quickly how to embed a subscription form into it. And don't worry, this will work on pretty much any page builder. So let's start with landing pages and forms. Go here and click on create new. And now you need to choose, is it a form or landing page? And the difference is that form goes to your website. If you already existing website, then you can use it. And then a landing page goes, it just lives by itself. So you don't even need a website to start this newsletter. So I'm going to show you how to do the landing page, and in a bit also how to do it in form. However, the builder, the way you build these pages is exactly the same. So once you learn one, it's going to be easy to work with both. So I've chosen the landing page, and from here you have a lot of different templates. So you can go through this just by scrolling, or you can select a specific one. For example, I want to look at newsletters, and you can see I have a lot of different options here. So you can just scroll through them and see what you like. So for example, if If I want to keep it simple, I could use something like this or this one. And whenever you want to just preview it, click on this and you can see this landing page, very simple. I kind of like it because it's just straightforward. And from here, you can also see how it looks like on mobile. So a lot of people will land there on mobile. Looks great. And now if I'm happy with this, I can just click on choose. So on this page, we can just go ahead and update everything we see. So let's start with the title of this. So I'm going to change this to YouTube tips and LP, like this landing page. Great. Now I want to change the image. I can just click on it and then replace from here and choose files to upload. And from here, I would find the image. I actually already have it here because I was playing around. There you go. The image just appears. And next you can just start updating text. So you come here and say, you can start typing. So I prepared some text. Let me just put it in here quickly. Something short and sweet explaining what people are going to get. So what this landing page will do is whenever you sign up, you will actually get a free ebook in a PDF format. And I'm kind of want to just promote that a little bit. Okay, you can just type it in your text here. And if you want to highlight any text, for example, this email subscribers, I can just highlight it. And then from here, you can choose to bold it, make it underlined and so on. You can also make a link out of any of these, any of the text. So I'm going to make it bold and I'm going to remove this text. I don't need it. I don't think it fits here. And whenever you need to add any other sections here, you can click on this plus icon that appears here. And then you see that you have other options. For example, you could add image or a link and so on. The thing is, this doesn't need so much. This is a very simple landing page where my only goal is for people to sign up. So not so much explaining what's going on here and so on. So, and then we can also update the button here. I'm going to just say, get it now. And then I want to change the color because I have different brand colors. So I can just choose from here and I can choose the color also. So then obviously it stands out and maybe a little bit bigger. Looking great. I can change it to bold as well. Now it really stands out. And then you have this little text. You can keep it or remove it. It's up to you. I'm going to keep it in this case. And I want to also add a first name here. So how can I do that? Well, it's pretty simple. You just click on this little plus icon and here on the right, you have custom fields or tags. In most cases, you're going to just add custom fields and then you only have first name right now here. Actually, you can add more custom fields and I'm going to show you how to do that once we go into the settings of Convertkit. Right now, you can just choose first name and from here, I want to make it required. Everything else looks good to me, but you could change the font colors and also the background border colors and so on. One thing I do want to do, I want to just click on these three lines here and drag this first name above email address. And that way it makes a bit more sense. Okay, everything else looks great except the background. I'm not happy with that. So here on the right, you have general styles. If you click on it, you can change not only the background. So let's do that first. I can change it to white or maybe a bit like grayish like that. Yeah, looks great. The transparency like this. And then I can also update the card color. So this is called the card and you could update it to something else. But honestly, the white works really well for me. And then if you know how to code, there's the custom CSS field here. You can add that code there. But what I want to do here is I want to update also the headers here. The font is not what I like, so I'm going to change it to Montserrat. And also same thing for this one. Let's change it so that the titles and the body text is the same font. Doesn't need to be, but I just like it that way. Cool. You can always preview it here and exit from preview. And we can save this and let's go to settings because there's a lot of things going on there. So first of all, you have this option to what happens when a visitor subscribes to your page. So you can show just a message. It would show up just on the same page like this. Or you could also redirect them to another page. If you have a website, you could create later kind of a welcome page where you have a video or maybe text welcoming people to your newsletter. In this case, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to say thank you for subscribing and now check your email to confirm your subscription. Then you have the option to change the domain name here. So what you can do is you choose the domain name and then kind of you give the page a name. So I'm going to call this YouTube tips. So like this, add it. And now you can see this is one of the URLs that this page will work on. And then you have the incentive section, which is really important if you want to send out any kind of a freebie or lead magnet to your subscribers. And the great thing in Convertkit, it does it kind of automatically, and you can upload the file directly to Convertkit. Not in all tools you can do this. First of all, let's select how we're going to deliver this incentive or this freebie. In my case, it's a PDF file, but it can be anything digital that you can provide to your subscribers. So you have two options. You have URL or download. Download is simple because you can just upload a file here. For example, I have here a PDF ready for it, and I'm going to upload it. And whenever people click on the button, they will actually start downloading this PDF. However, the other option is to send people to a URL. So for example, if you have all your lead magnets or freebies in one Drive folder, you could add that Drive folder here. So Google Drive or Outlook, anywhere where you can save files. You can just add the URL here, but just make sure that that URL is accessible to everybody, so it's publicly accessible. So in my case, I'm going to use the download, so the file is already there, and then you have the incentive email itself. And here, let's click on edit email. This is what the people will receive first. So for example, I can say, hey, subject line, here's your free ebook, because that's what they sign up for. And then I have some text here, just explaining a little bit what's going on. Just thanking them again for signing up, and they can just download it by clicking on this button. And this button is easy. You can see if I click on it, you have here on the right URL. You see this confirm URL. This just means this is the confirmation to people to be kind of included in your newsletter. And you can change the background color of the buttons here. So I could change it to more yellow, like I have the other button on my landing page, and you can adjust things here and so on. For now, I'm happy with this. And if people click on this, I don't want this text. I want to just say download ebook. So if somebody clicks on this, download the ebook, but also confirm that they want to be subscribed to the newsletter. And then I can say regards, Robert. Never try to remove this one because it's mandatory there, so that people have an easy way to unsubscribe from your newsletter, just in case they want. And then you have here build with Convertkit. If you have the paid plan of Convertkit, you can remove this easily, but right now we're still on the free plan. And then the builder itself, you can add text by just typing it, and you have more options here. And in case you want to make something a link, you could just select this one and obviously make it a link from here and add the link. So pretty straightforward, as is pretty much with any tool you use nowadays online. The only thing I want to show you, you can also add other sections. For example, if I would like to have something here, I click on this little plus, and there's more things to add. So you have divider, image, file, and so on. You could add more things here. So make it just more interesting to people. Other than that, I'm happy with this email, and I can now go ahead and save this. So that's our incentive email. Then we have this auto confirm new subscriber, but Convertkit actually recommends not to select this, because if you do select this, whenever somebody puts an email and signs up through your form, they directly become your subscriber. So they don't need to click on that incentive email button. So if they don't click here, nothing will happen. They will be still your subscriber. So this is a debated topic in sort of email marketing world. So do you want to have people, doing more work to be part of your newsletter? In most cases, for the quality, you do want to. And I understand that if you're starting out, you want to grow your subscribers quicker, then you might want to enable it. But quite quickly after you get going, I really recommend you enable it. That way you have a bit, let's say, higher quality list. So you don't have subscribers that don't actually want to be there, or they mistype their email and so on. So this just makes sure of that. And then we have also SEO analytics section. So you can fill this in. If somebody shares this page somewhere, then the title and the description will be taken from these fields. And also you can connect this to these services. This is a bit more advanced, so I'm not going to show you. Let's save this. And now we're pretty happy to go on. One thing I want to show you, if you add a page here, so you could do this, it adds a thank you page directly. But if you do that, you get a new option here in settings. You come to settings, and here in general, you have a new section here, redirect to thank you page. And that's basically this page here. So just wanted to show you that. So let's go back to the page. I clicked on this title here, and let's save it, and we can publish it. So you can see that this is now published, and it's on this URL. So for some reason, it didn't include our URL that we set earlier. So let's check in settings, and then here in domain name, for some reason it just didn't include it. So we can just come here and type in again, add it, and it's telling me that I already have this. Okay, let's try one thing. I'm gonna just refresh this page, and then if I go and publish this, you see that the URL has changed. So I'm gonna copy it. I can open an incognito window so the Convertkit doesn't know that we're logged in, and now I can just sign up. So if I type in here test and for example my email address like this, I can now sign up, and you see this message that we adjusted earlier, and this is basically the page you can share anywhere online or offline if you want to. Now, one thing, you're not going to actually receive any emails right now. You cannot actually send any emails because we haven't confirmed the email address. If you go to your email, the one that you sign up to Convertkit, you should get an email like this. Confirm your Convertkit account. So what we're doing here, we're just confirming the Convertkit account and not the confirmation page that's sent to your new subscribers that I showed you earlier. So what you can do, you can just confirm it by clicking on this one. But since this is a different browser, so I have to just copy it, come here and just confirm it. There you go. You see email address has been confirmed. So this gives us a little bit more to work with. So now if I just grab this URL again, open it like this, let's just use again. Okay, now the email has been sent, and what you can do is you just check your email address. In case your email ends up in the spam folder, there's a verification you can do to improve the likelihood that the email doesn't go to spam anymore. I'll talk more about it in the settings section later in this video. You can come here and just click on the download ebook, and now you can see that I'm just redirected to the ebook, and from here I could just easily download it by clicking on this button here. This depends a little bit on your browser how you see it, but basically this is how it works. Now if we go back to Convertkit, and then I go here and we can go grow, and we have subscribers. Now you notice that I have one subscriber, and it's the test account I just subscribed with. Pretty cool, right? People can now sign up, and they're able to get even an incentive email, and you don't even need a website for this. It's all done in Convertkit. So we're kind of halfway through the journey. The other half is obviously start sending emails and automating them. But before we do that, let me quickly show you how to add, this form to your website. So what we need to do is come here and landing pages. Let's click on landing pages and forms, and then let's create new because we need to have form instead of landing page. So let's select form. I like to use inline, but also you could use something like modal or a slide in. Just gonna select inline, and there's a few options here, and you can select the one you want. I'm just gonna choose this because I want to just show you all the settings and everything that I already showed in landing page. It's exactly the same for forms. The only thing that is different is when we come to here. When I save it and I want to publish it, and then you have a few options to embed this. So if you're using WordPress and use the plugin, you can just copy this one, but I'm just going to use the JavaScript and I'm going to copy it. And now I can come to my website. I already prepared it here. Now, let's say this is my website. I built it with WordPress and my page builder is Elementor, but this will work with any page builder. So that's the great thing because all of them have HTML blocks. So let me show you here. I just search for HTML, and if I drag this here, this is where my form will show up. So I just need to paste that code that we copied from Convertkit into here. You see, it's a script, which is JavaScript in this case, and now it appears here. So if I just preview these changes, you can see that this page now includes my form. So if I do any updates in the form and then save it in Convertkit, it will automatically update everything here as well. And that's how the forms are different from a landing page. But otherwise, super easy to use, right? And that's it. We can go now back to dashboard, just clicking on the logo. And the next thing we're going to do is send an email. Now, before sending an email, you need to make sure you have somebody in your list. So we can come here and click on subscribers, and you can add a subscriber yourself. You can add it here, add a subscriber. First, we need to add some tags here. So tags are a great way of basically separating your subscribers to different groups. You can tag pretty much anything in Convertkit. And once you start doing that, it's so powerful when you can segment your subscribers. So let's say you are into YouTube, but maybe you have some people that are interested in the thumbnail design and some people are interested in the editing videos. Then you could tag them separate based on where they subscribe, what they click on, And then later on, you can, if you have a, offer some sort of product for the people that are interested in thumbnail, you only send the email to those people that are actually interested in it. This just means they're going to get more relevant offers from you, more relevant content as well. So I would recommend you start tagging as soon as possible. Even if you don't use it right now, just tag as much as you can. So here we're just going to add a new tag. I'm going to call it interested in thumbnails and create a tag. And now we can just add a single subscriber or import with a CSV. Both of them pretty straightforward. I'm just going to add a single subscriber to show you how it is. So because we only have 2 fields, I can select here. I could now add a Robert, and then I would type in an email like this. And then I just need to select the tag. It's already selecting 1 tag at least. You also have forms, sequences, and so on if you want to add people there. Let's click on save. And by the way, the difference between a tag and segment is basically a tag is a bit more granular. Segments you can include multiple tags in one segment. So that way you create kind of this groups of tags. So let me create another tag here, and I'm going to call it. And the third one, let's say it's interested in storytelling. There you go. I have now 3 tags. Okay, next I'll show you how to create and style your first email and how to send it immediately or schedule it for later. I'll also teach how to personalize the email, add tags when a subscriber clicks on any of the links, and send it to only certain people on your list. This is going to be really useful later on. Let's go to send, and we're gonna choose the broadcast, and we can just send a one-off email just to begin with. Okay, let's here click on new broadcast. The cool thing is you can create your own email templates. So once you get going, you can just save one of your emails and make that into your template. So you have some options here. So these are kind of starting points where you can start your email, but I like to keep my emails quite straightforward and just kind of text heavy instead of having these beautifully designed ones. But you could choose one of these and use those points. But I want to just use the basic one, the classic one. I'm going to select here. Okay, let's give this email a subject line. And this is really important because subject lines, basically, if you have a bad subject line, it doesn't matter what you have in your email because few people will only read it. So make sure you spend time on creating great subject lines. Later on, once you have like, I would say 500 plus, maybe even 1,000 plus subscribers, you can start A/B testing your subject lines. And if you click on this, basically what it does, it shows, I think 15% of people the first version of the subject line, and then it'll show 15% another version, and then the one that gets most opens. So let's say this one wins, then the 70% that is remaining, they will receive only with this subject line. And that just increases your chances that more people will see your email just because it's more enticing, the subject line. But that's a little bit more advanced, so I wouldn't worry about it right now. The email builder works exactly the same way as we already used in the landing page. But what I can do here is I type hi, and we have this variable here. So I can select from here, add personalization, and I can add the subscriber's first name here. So this just means it's going to show the subscriber's first name like this. So for example, this would say, hi Robert, if it would come to my email address. And then I can just type in the rest of the email. So I have some text here, and then I can also add a video section here. See, video. There you go. I just can grab a URL from YouTube, place it in here, and it shows up like this. Super nice. You can also, there's more options for videos because you can make a show a GIF preview. Now this sometimes takes a bit of time to actually load. And not only that, you can enable display video in email when supported. That means, for example, if the subscriber has Gmail and you send a YouTube video, it'll just play it directly in Gmail. That's an option, but usually I don't allow that. So show GIF preview is not working right now, but I'm just going to switch back to the thumbnail, and let me just finish this email. And remember, if you click on this little plus, you can always add more blocks here. One thing to note that you have these templates here. If you want to browse them and just change it to something else, it will remove the text you have here. So keep that in mind. So once you kind of establish what you like in terms of a template, only then start writing the text. And then when it comes to email itself, I can highlight it here easily. So let's say feeling good on camera. I can make that bold. I can make any sentence link from here. this is what I want to show you. So let's say I have this link here. So let's say this is the link. What I can do here, whenever somebody clicks on this link, we can add a link trigger. This is automation, but also we can just directly tag somebody. So let's say if they click on this link and that means they are interested in a thumbnail. And then if you click apply, whenever somebody clicks on this link, that's what's going to happen. They're going to get that tag that they're interested in thumbnails. And this is just super powerful feature that I love this one. And I'm able to tag so many people and just follow up with like leads that are close to purchase because they're obviously interested. Maybe it's a link to my course. And if they click on that, I'm able to target only those people. And that increases the chance that they actually will buy. All right. So once you're happy with your email, everything looks good. You can preview the email from here. And you can also check how it looks like on mobile. And what you can do here is send a test email, and then you can also preview a subscriber. Now, right now, I don't have enough subscribers. It doesn't show anything for some reason, but I can definitely send myself like a test email. So let's do that. Just double check that everything works. I always like to do that because sometimes I miss things in this builder, whereas when I see it in an email, it just looks very different. So here's the email. I can check how it looks like, how the subject line also looks like here. Okay, perfect. And I recommend just always test sending the email to a different email box than the one that you use in Convertkit. Also, if you notice your emails are going to the spam, then there's a verification you can do to increase the likelihood that the email doesn't go to spam. I'll talk more about it in the settings section of this video in a few minutes. I can just go through the links that everything works, and let's click on this one. You'll notice that the test email shows this preview mode. Don't worry, this will not show up once you send out a real email. It's just because of the test email. So if you click on this, this is where people would end up. Okay, great. This is the right email. This is the right video. So I'm happy with that, and we can close this. Let's go back to our editor, to Convertkit, and let's close this preview and let's continue. Now we get a few options here. First, we can send the, as an email, which obviously we want, but then you also have the option to publish to web. And that just means it becomes like almost like a blog post that you can then direct people later on to go through your emails. Now, obviously, if you're sending out sales emails, you probably don't want to publish that to web, but if it's informational, then definitely you can include that if you want to. So I'm going to include both. And what can I do here in email section? So it gives us here from address, and then we can also target people from here. So let's say this email would be a little bit special. I'm not sending it to all subscribers, but instead I'm going to select from here, subscribe to. You can say forms, or we can also just select tags. And in this case, I want to send it to interested in thumbnails. All right. Oh yeah. And you need to click on the add filter. Otherwise it doesn't add. You can see this updated from 2 subscribers to 1 because there's only 1 subscriber to my, to this tag. In case I want to add other people here, I could also add another tag from here, subscribe to tags, and I don't know, interested in this one. And don't forget, always add the filter here. So then this becomes 0 because it's an AND logic. So the person has to be subscribed to this tag and this tag. So keep that in mind. So if you want to have OR logic, then you have to just come here and add multiple tags. Just click here. You can add them like this and then add filter, and then the subscribes to this or this or this. But for this one, let's just remove this and keep to just 1. Also, if you want to just exclude some people, you can come here and instead of say all, none of the above. And that means people that have this tag, they will not receive this. So let's go back to all. All right, let's see. We can send this email directly now. You'll just send it out immediately, or we can select another day. So let's say on Tuesday. So tomorrow, let's say it's at 9:40 a.m. There you go. It just repeats with the time here, and we'll send out that email then. Because I'm showing you this, I'm going to unschedule it and actually just send it now. Advanced options, you can add the preview text. This shows up whenever you have an email. So here you have an email. You have this little text. By default, it will just take first text that it sees in the email itself. But you can also add sort of a preview text. You can tease people about the topic they're going to read about. And then you can also add internal notes. In terms of publishing to web, Pretty simple. You can choose an image from here, either just the ones from one of the images that you already have in the email, or just upload an image directly. Only display for paying subscribers. That's a feature that you could use, but it's under the paid account, and set as featured for on creator profile. And a creator profile is super useful if you want to recommend other creators, and so that also other creators can recommend your newsletter. And it's like a profile page that you can set up. Right now we don't have that, so I'm not gonna enable that. And also you have a few advanced options here, but for now I'm happy with the slug. So this is the URL of this specific email. It actually created it quite nicely. Then I can click on continue, and here it just tells you here's what's gonna happen. And let's do that. Let's just publish and send the broadcast. And there you go. Congrats, you've just sent out that email. And so now you can see the email is here public, and if you click to view it, and then you have here things like analytics, also the click statistics, very helpful once you start getting subscribers. And what I wanted to show you here, that you can open this and you can see this is the URL for the post. So if you make it available for the web, this is how it looks like. It's just a URL that you can share anywhere, and it becomes like your blog post and archive of your previous newsletters. Hey, if you're trying to write an email but you end up staring at the blank page, having no idea what to write about, then check out my free email templates, where I've created a few starting points for an email newsletter. These templates give you a format that's proven to perform online, and all you have to do is fill in the blanks. Grab it from the link in the video description. So before we go ahead and create automations, I want to make sure that we have all the settings correctly and that we have some defaults, so we don't need to repeat ourselves all the time. So let's go here and click on Tips with Punch and click on Settings. So in your case, it's obviously your name here. So in settings, there are a few things you need to know. You obviously have your details here in profile picture. This is only needed if you set up the creator profile, which you actually should. For the beginning, I would definitely go to the general account settings. Here, what you can do is you can change your business name, and you can save colors here. So for example, I don't know, I want to save a yellow color that I use everywhere. I can just save it here, and that way I have a few presets. And another cool thing here is you can save links. So I already saved one here, but I can just remove this and add a new one. You just add a link here to your website, to YouTube, to any social media, save it here, and you have certain blocks that use these links, and they show up in your emails or in your landing pages. But obviously you can select if you want to show them or not. And then the most important section of the settings is the email section. We already verified our email address here. You see it's confirmed. We can add more from addresses here. And this is where you would add an email with custom domain name in case you sign up with a free provider like Gmail or Yahoo. We would need to verify obviously those, but here you have the verified sending domain. Convertkit recommends to do this once you have 3,000 subscribers, but I think it's better to do it as soon as possible because it takes about 10 minutes, but it improves the email deliverability. And there have been some recent changes to how Gmail and Outlook, how they treat this email. So Gmail and Outlook have gotten a bit more stricter about this, so I really recommend you just set it up immediately. If you want to learn how to do the sending domain verification, just click on the video banner in the top right corner or check the link in the video description. And then if we scroll up, at this point we can start the approval process. So you can just click on this and you'll see that this chat appears, and this is part of the approval process. Just make sure to answer the questions truthfully and in detail. So don't just reply with random stuff. Convertkit does this to make sure you're a real person and you own the domain and that you have the right intentions with the email marketing. This way they can guarantee good email deliverability to everybody. The other thing you can do here is enable certain defaults. For example, I can select here because I don't usually send out emails on Saturday and Sunday, so I can just disable that, and I can select the default time that the email goes out. This will just help speed up certain things when you're sending out emails. And then you have mailing address. So if you have a business and you have an office somewhere, you can add that address here, but you need to have some address here because of the anti-spam law. And by default, Convertkit provides this address. You can use it. And then you can have unsubscribe survey if you want to. So when somebody unsubscribes, you ask a few questions and it's totally just automatic thing you set up. And then you have the GDPR settings. So if you're in Europe, this is probably applies to you more than if you're in other countries. However, you need to take a look if at this article if it applies to you, but you can enable here. And basically when somebody subscribes to your newsletter, there's an extra checkbox saying like, hey, are you okay? Do you consent to subscribing to this email marketing? And we're going to send you emails, blah, blah, blah. So it's just an additional thing that people need to do when they subscribe. So if you have a lot of people signing up through from Europe, you definitely want to enable that. So let's save the changes. And then we have the next section, domains. This is where you can actually connect your custom domain name with Convertkit, and then all the landing pages will have your domain name. But if you already have a website, then maybe you don't need that. You can use just inline forms and embed them on your website. Then you don't need to worry about that. Next, we have commerce, where basically you have settings if you want to sell something on Convertkit. Pretty straightforward. You connect your Stripe account to Convertkit, and then you can receive the money for digital products. And then you have billing. This is obviously if you're paying for Convertkit, this is where you manage everything. And you have team and advanced. This is quite nice if you want to connect to other tools, like for example, Zapier. You have the API key here. And just so you know that the API and the integrations are not part of the free plan. So if you need those, then you can upgrade. In this section, I will teach how to automate your emails, and we will set up a simple welcome sequence. Most creators send a welcome sequence just to introduce themselves and provide lots of value up front. So whenever somebody signs up, they send the welcome sequence. Because when someone subs to you to your newsletter, that's when they are the most enthusiastic and they still actually remember you. So it's a great opportunity to provide lots of value in the beginning. The thing is, the way Convertkit does automation is different from other email marketing tools. They have email sequences, which are like a set of scheduled emails sent automatically one after another, but they don't have any logic. They just go one after another based on the delays you set. On the other hand, you have visual automations, and this is where you add logic to this. It works as a funnel that subscribers go through, and you can add multiple different email sequences to any automation. It will all make sense in a few minutes, so let me first show you how to create an email sequence. I think it's easier to start with sequences. So let's click on sequences and let's create our first sequence. From here, you can choose the email template you're going to use for sequence. I don't have any now, but once you save one, and you can save it by coming here, send an email template. You can create it there. So you can create your email template, and it's just useful because you're going to have your colors already set up, your fonts and things like that. It's already there. So for sequence, we can call this, for example, welcome email sequence. So whenever somebody signs up to our newsletter, we want to make sure we kind of welcome them. We provide them with lots of value, and maybe at the end you can even pitch your product if it's something that fits your business. So I'm going to keep this part quite short. It's not about the email itself. It's about how you use these sequences. So I'm going to just call this welcome email 1, and then obviously you add all your text and so on. And then we can add another email. So let's add another email. It's just going to call it email 2. And then we're going to add a third email, which will be email 3. And let's say we can add a fourth one, which we'll call email sell product. Okay, so we have 4 emails here, and how this works. Let's click on the first one. So this email gets sent out 1 day after this sequence is triggered. You can also change this that it's sent out immediately, and you can see that it's already pre-selected the days I usually send out emails. It will send out it on one of these days immediately when the sequence gets triggered. Let's publish this. So it's published now, and it sends out immediately. And obviously you would update the text here. And then what you can do is say, hey, once this email is sent out, the email 2 gets sent out a day after that one. So I can publish this, and this email basically gets sent out 1 day after this one. Yeah. And then the third email, we can again choose when we want to send. We can also send 1 hour after, or we can say, hey, 7 days after. But usually in the beginning, you want to send out quite frequently the emails, just a few emails. Don't spam them every day for next month. But so again, this will go 1 day after. I can publish it, and same thing for the last email one day after, and I'll publish it. Now, sending your own welcome email sequences is an art form, and it really depends on your business and what you're trying to achieve. But usually you want to either introduce yourself, you want to share your most valuable content with your subscribers, or just say, hey, thank you. And if you are interested in working with me, here's some services I can provide you. But usually you want to just provide lots of value and then maybe ask them for, sort of a soft sell something to them. And this is kind of what I do in my own email sequence. And you can take a look how I've set up my welcome email sequence. I'll just link a video. If you click on the banner here in the top right corner, if you click on that, you'll see how I've set it up. Okay, now we have the sequence. We can go to automate, and here visual automations and new automation. So here you have a bunch of templates. If you want to use those, you can take a look, preview them. You see there's basically this structure for automations. But let's start from scratch so that you learn how to use this. So start from scratch. Let's give this an automation name. I'm just going to call it welcome automation. And then let's start building. And usually you just add, if somebody joins a form, then this is the trigger. So you can say any form or specific form, but in most cases you just want this to happen to everybody who signs up. So I would say any form. You have other triggers also here, like custom field is added to tag or purchase. And then let's add an event. There you go. This is the event, any form. Whenever somebody subscribes, you can do things. So here on the plus, you can do another event, action, or condition. Let's do first an action. So for example, we could say, hey, when they start this, we can add a new tag. And now we only have these 3 tags that we created earlier, but what we can do is just start writing. So let's create main newsletter. And then here you can see create new tag. Let's create it. And now you see it's added there. And we're also gonna create welcome flow and create new tag. And why do we want to have 2 here? Well, I want to start with welcome flow. And once they're done with the welcome flow, I'm going to put them in the main newsletter and delete the welcome flow. That way I know they've already finished the welcome flow. And then I can start just sending my weekly newsletter to them. You'll see how this plays out in just a second. The next step would be to actually send out my welcome email sequence. So here I can select it. I only have 1 here, so it's easy. Add an action. And just so you know, you can actually add more than 1 sequence. They could be multiple email sequences after each other here, but they would all have to first finish and then only you go to the next one. So in this case, this one, I think it took 4 days to finish, and only then you move on to the next step. And in our case, the next step could be now, let's wait a couple days so that everybody kind of reads through those emails. So let's add a delay. We could say number of days or certain custom date, but for me, this works better. Let's say, let's wait 2 days, and only then we are going to add another tag. So let's add a tag. And in this case, I'm going to add main newsletter, add an action. So now that tag gets applied, and then we're going to remove welcome flow tag. You might be asking, why do this? Well, I want to make sure that everybody who goes through this welcome flow, they are basically removed from it and then they're added to the main newsletter, because I use the main newsletter tag when I send out my weekly emails. That way I know you've already been introduced to who I am and I provided you value, and then you kind of go to my normal newsletter flow. So right now this flow looks really straightforward, and in most cases that's enough for you. I actually don't have any other logic than just straightforward like this. However, in some cases you do want to add a bit of conditions. So if you add, for example, after the 2 days, we can add some condition here. Let's check if a person has a tag. And in this case, it's going to be interested in thumbnails. Add a condition. Let's scroll to it. So now, if that person has this tag, we can send another sequence, email sequence. Now, I'm just going to add the one we already have, but imagine there's another email sequence that is soft selling the course for thumbnails. So in this case, if you have that tag, because you got that tag by clicking on one of the links in the welcome email sequence, we can send you into a condition where if you have that, you get another special email sequence that really just focuses on that course and what value it can bring to the subscriber. And if you don't have that tag, you just go directly to the next step. If you need to, you could also add something else here. So if they don't have that tag, you could add another type of email sequence. So maybe you want to talk about something else for those that are not interested in thumbnails. When starting out, I would keep the email automations super simple because it's easier to start with something simple and then you can expand when you see a need. For some reason, a lot of people think that they need to have some complex automations so that they sell more products. Sometimes the simplest things are the best. Okay, and when you're ready, when your sequence is ready, you can just come here and activate it, and that way it goes live. Make sure you just activate from here. Next, I want to mention some really powerful features that the Convertkit comes with. I'm not going to go through them, but I want to show 3 of the most useful ones so that you know they exist and you start using them immediately. For this, I'm going to switch to my real account because I can actually show you real examples of it. So this is one of my newsletters. I've logged in already, and I want to show you first the snippets. So if you go to send, you have these snippets. These are reusable blocks of content, and really useful if you, for example, I have here footer. So this is my footer for most of my emails. I set it up once, and whenever I need to update it, I can just come here and it will be updated to all emails that have this snippet. So all future emails will get updated with whatever you do here. It's useful for those blocks that you just reuse every time because at some point you'll have a lot of different automations and it's really annoying to go through each of the emails in those automations and change something. Whereas with this one, if you just add a snippet when you're creating your email, then you're able to just change it in one place. The second feature I want to show you is the creator profile and creator network. So if you go to Grow, you have here creator profile. You need creator profile to access the recommendations. So let's go and see recommendations. And here you can see, for example, this creator has sent me 4 subscribers so far. And if I look at people that I've sent subscribers to, you see here, you can see here, I've sent 39 subscribers to this person. It's pretty simple how it works. Whenever somebody signs up to my newsletter or to somebody else's newsletter, they get this pop-up. This pop-up just includes people that I recommend, and then they can, at the same time, they can sign up to those people. So it's kind of shared, this kind of network effect. The cool thing is, obviously, you just set this up once. You maybe reach out to some other creators that are kind of similar to what you do, or you're in the same field, so it makes sense to promote each other. So you don't end up promoting baby products when you're talking about cars, you know, you don't want to have that. But definitely look into it because this is a one way to grow without sending any new emails. The third thing I want to mention is that you can sell products directly from Convertkit. So you can sell digital products directly in Convertkit. Plus, you could also sell a paid newsletter to your subscribers. Some of subscribers maybe want more information. To those, you can provide a paid subscription where they get, you know, your special edition of your newsletter. And that makes it so much easier. If you don't have a website, you have one place where you can earn money, send emails, and just build your community. Now you know how to create a newsletter with Convertkit, but it's really hard to earn your first dollar from your newsletter. That's why you should watch this video next if you want to learn how 1,000 creators made their first dollar.